Does Peppa Pig follow rules? Seriously? We all thought that Peppa Pig doesn't have any strict rules in her life, but we're wrong. Friends, throughout the series they've shown us that she actually does have several strict rules that she follows. Do you want to know what they are? Let's find out in this video. George is given preference because he's the youngest, probably a rule that all older siblings must be used to, and Peppa Pig is no exception. Throughout many episodes, we see how Peppa's parents and even her relatives give preference to George because he's the youngest. Just look at the difference between their birthday parties. Peppa only got a dress for her doll and a really lame magic show that her dad put on for her. And what did George get? A surprise dinosaur-themed party at the museum with a big dinosaur toy, cakes, and lots of dinosaurs for everyone to have fun with. It's definitely a big difference, monumental in the way they treat each one. Or what about when Peppa's grandpa takes the kids to the park to have fun? Here, everyone is waiting their turn to go down the slide. But when Richard Rabbit shows that it's hard for him to wait because he's little, Peppa's grandpa gives preference to the other little ones, including George. George is also very little, so he shouldn't have to wait either. And that's why all the other kids have to wait until the little ones feel like it, to stop sliding down the slide. Wow, that definitely can be a rule that sometimes feels really unfair. But that's how life really works, friends. And I think it's a rule that Peppa has accepted very well over time. Do people only make fun of Peppa's dad's belly? And it may sound like a very strange rule, friends, but for some reason that's how it happens in the show. It doesn't matter that the other characters are just as big and have the same big belly as Peppa's dad. They will always make fun of him. And apparently Peppa can't do anything about it. I'll give you several examples. We have the time when Peppa and her family went to the city fair. And Peppa's dad wanted to have a try at Mr. Toro's game, and Mr. Toro kept laughing at Peppa's dad. Daddy Pig is a little chubby. He probably couldn't win the game because of his big belly. Or what about the episode when Peppa's grandpa built a playhouse for Peppa and George? And Peppa, she says the password is her dad's big belly.
Say the secret words, Daddy's big tummy, Daddy's big tummy.
I think those are some silly secret words. Anyway, the good thing is that Peppa's dad doesn't mind that they always make fun of his belly. Or that even Peppa, instead of drawing a vegetable, she draws her dad sitting and watching television.
Peppa, what vegetable did you draw? I drew my dad watching.
The television, silly. But rules are rules, friends. Brushing your teeth without fail. Just because they're little pigs and like to jump in mud puddles doesn't mean they're dirty all the time. Literally, Peppa and George are required to brush their teeth before going to bed. It's a rule that I think many of us were taught when we were kids, but probably not many of us actually follow, right? And actually, this rule was taught very well to Peppa. Because if she doesn't have her teeth clean, when her teeth fall out, the tooth fairy won't bring her any gifts. I guess it's an excellent rule that all of us should follow the traffic rules. And actually, it's one of the rules that apparently they really emphasize to all the kids in Peppa Pig. They have to make sure to look both ways and listen before crossing the street. Besides understanding very well the meaning of the traffic light colors. And honestly, it's good that they taught all this to Peppa and her friends. Because I don't think it would be very nice to see Danny the dog become Danny the pancake. In fact, they teach Peppa this rule so much that they make her a traffic police officer. And she helps her other classmates so they don't have any accidents. Like when Pedro Pony was almost taken away by the tamale vendor. And just like brushing her teeth, one of the rules that Peppa has to follow no matter what are the dress code rules. For example, putting on pajamas to go to sleep. Daddy Pig makes this very clear because when they go to check on them and say goodnight, Daddy Pig, he realizes that George isn't wearing his pajamas and immediately gets angry and orders him to put on his pajamas. Should you be wearing your pajamas? But Peppa's parents don't just get strict when it comes to putting on pajamas at night. No, friends, these little pigs really love to be fashionable. For example, another dress code rule that is non-negotiable is that everyone must wear their coats whenever they want to go out at night. It doesn't matter if they're just going to watch the stars. Daddy and Mommy Pig always take great care of their children. At least this way they avoid a bad cold. And the same thing happens with the clothes for going out for a walk. Peppa can't go out in her uniform, her pajamas, or just any old rag she finds lying around. It must suit the occasion. And this dress code rule is really strict for Peppa, because for every situation she has to wear the right clothes. The uniform for going to school, her raincoat when it rains, or her swimsuit for going to the pool. Wow, piglets really do like to dress well. Tell us in the comments if your family also follows this rule, or if they don't care if you dress however you want. I'm Chola, the piglet. Oink, Chola, oink. And even though piggy parents seem like they don't care at all, how does Peppa behave? They also worry a lot about Peppa and George having good manners. And one of the strictest rules for the little ones is that they must say please and thank you. They even teach them that these are magic words they should always remember.
Good things happen when you say please and thank you. Please, please, please.
Peppa takes them very seriously. Well, she's even going to teach everyone in her class what it means to have good manners. By saying thank you when someone gives her something and please when she wants to ask for something. At least now we know that, even though Peppa can be very messy, she will say please, thank you, and apologize if she makes a mistake. But friends, Peppa doesn't just have rules inside her house. Even when she goes to the pool, she has to follow the pool rules. Especially so she doesn't end up drowning. To begin with, she shouldn't run around like a crazy cow near the pool so she doesn't end up drowning. She's also not allowed to get into the pool and splash around, like she loves to do in the mud puddle. And Peppa is very strict about this, because when Mr. Bull was splashing around like a chicken, Peppa immediately went to call him out.
No splashing, Mr. Toribio. Oh, I'm sorry, Peppa.
Oh, and by the way, her swimsuit is the only thing she can wear in the pool. No regular clothes allowed. And this rule isn't just repeated by her parents, even Madame Gazelle goes over all these rules with her. To have a good time at the pool without any accidents, now it turns out Peppa behaved better than Mr. Bull. The rules in the car, there's something many children need to keep in mind, and that's that there always have to be rules for everyone's safety when riding in a car. And Peppa is no exception. In fact, Peppa's family has several rules that they always follow when they use their car. The first is that they must always keep their car clean. They made this very clear to us when we saw that Peppa's red car was completely dirty and everyone had to wash it together before they could use it. So we'll never see a wash me sign on Peppa Pig's car. The next rule that Peppa must follow before the car moves is that they have to fasten their seatbelts. In fact, Daddy Pig always makes sure that everyone is ready and safe before he starts driving. In fact, it's a very important rule they must follow if they want to lower the roof of their car. And in Peppa's world, they are so strict that they even have rules for how to play. Just pay attention to the following song. To get on the swings, you have to hold on tight and not go too high.
Without letting go, we swing our ring.
For the slide, you have to go down one at a time and with both feet together. We
Throw thrust forward, feeling safe on the playground.
For the seesaw, each person has to be on one end, and when going down, you shouldn't slam down.
No hitting, no hitting.
And just like when spinning on this wheel, you shouldn't do it too fast so you don't fall off or get thrown off. Did you expect all these rules? Well, friends, I don't think any of us expected Peppa's world to have all these strict rules. So let us know in the comments what other rules you think Peppa Pig might have. We'll be reading them.